The Zelda games were always games that had big, expansive things, but they always ran at 30. And they also always had less geometric detail close up. They always, there's actually a bug on the GameCube hardware where if you had really large triangles that intersected with the near plane, with the camera plane, and if those triangles intersected, the colors would kind of warble a little bit. And I remember in the Zelda games, you would see it all the time because they had such giant triangles that were not, geometrically detailed. Whereas
Ocarina of Time, I'm credited in the game as the manual editor.
Yes, you are.
But I did just about everything in that game except write the screen text. So that was that was towards the end of my my associate producer days. It was one of the last projects I worked on before I transferred over to design. Yeah. So it was a little frustrating to get to the end of the game and see my name in the credits as manual editor when that was a game I spent so much time debugging and working with advertising and marketing and legal and all vast departments at Nintendo. Zelda was while I love Ocarina of Time, it's a great game. It was almost the death of me because so much of my time was spent working on that game. 2 weeks without a day off, working from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. It's crazy.
I'm a big fan of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, right? Like,
yeah.
A huge game that's hugely influential, and I don't want to say my game is anything remotely close to that, but like there are a lot of decisions they made that I think are just really good ones that I will definitely lean on, right, to help me decide how to approach some of these problems. So
the Legend of Zelda series, the entire series, and particularly Breath of the Wild, just as a shining example of just godly sound design and music, but where all the sound effects are integrated and all the musical instruments are integrated so that it's a seamless universe of sound, and they all work brilliantly together, and they never clash unless they're supposed to clash, and that's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, right? So in other words, everything is conscious, everything is deliberate, everything is designed. Breath of the Wild, if you dissect it, which I have, and that level of sophistication, things like opening up a high pass filter on the music when the weather clears. Oh my god.
Okay, Zelda. I would love to work on a Zelda game. It's just the adventure, the memories, the music, the sound design, the creatures, the worlds, the lore, just that stuff just sucks you in.
Yeah, I'd love to have a crack at Zelda. I mean, it never happened, but I'd love to have a crack at Zelda. I love Zelda. I mean, and Zelda Link to the Past is my favourite game of all time. I love that game on the SNES. It was so good.
Yes.
I just think it's brilliant.
Zelda, for example, all the engine was written just for that game. So a lot of it too is like figuring out how it works as well. So if anyone was around who worked on the original one, we would have meetings with them as well. So the engineers could talk to each other and be like, oh, how did that bit actually work?
I am the biggest, I have a Zelda tattoo, like many people.
Oh, wow.
I love Nintendo. I always will.